Cases? Why would I need a case for my phone? It's not like I drop phones. Okay, those were drop tests, deliberate drops. But as far as daily usage and my regular usage goes with my daily drivers, I can kind of count on both hands how many times I've actually dropped my phone. But only one time in the past 2 years that I've been here at Android Authority have I ever dropped a phone and it broke. And that was the screen, and yes, it was an LG G2, unfortunately. But that being said, I actually don't really like having cases on my phones. I like having the phone naked and just kind of out to show what the designers really set out to put into the phone. If I buy a phone because I actually think it looks good, why would I want to cover that up?
I like to find a phone that is pretty thin, so when I get a case, I want that case to not make my phone that much thicker.
I just didn't like dealing with the bulk from putting a case on the phone. And two, you didn't get to enjoy the natural beauty of a phone when you have a case on it, because when you put a case on a phone for like 6 months and then you take it off, you actually hold your phone, you're like, wow, this phone actually feels small now. It feels thin because you're actually holding your natural phone without a case on it.
Because these manufacturers take a lot of time building these phones and finding the best way to tweak them and move some internal elements around to make it a really thin device. And also, if a device is metal or aluminum, that's just a good feel. You really can't emulate that feel with a plastic or TPU case.
What is a TPU case, you ask? A thermoplastic polyurethane. It's a hybrid material of hard plastic and soft silicone, a very dense and smooth rubber made to slide in and out of your pocket without attracting lint.
The only time I put a case on my phone is if I'm out and about and I may be more prone to drop my phone because a lot of people are around, or I'm walking somewhere like at the mall and I may drop my phone because you're walking and texting and all that stuff. And that's just the way I have my devices. I really like to keep the little slim look of my phones.
If you are one of those people who is super protective over your technology, you probably don't need a cell phone case. I'm super protective over mine, and I usually don't keep a case on my phone. I do have one on there right now, but that's just for the little bumps. I plan on going to a bonfire later tonight, and I might drop my phone, so I do put like a little bit of protection on there just in case. But generally speaking, if you're super cautious with your technology, you're always keeping it in your pocket, you always put it in the middle of the table, you don't leave it on the edge of a countertop where there's tile beneath, then you probably don't need a phone case. Also, people who work in office buildings and places like that, they probably don't need cases either, because that's not really a dangerous place for your technology.
I try not to take my phones out of my pocket in places where if I drop it, it's going to get messed up. So if I'm outside and I'm walking down the sidewalk or something, I try not to take my phone out of my pocket because I don't want to risk dropping it. I'm literally that careful with my phones. Now, I still do buy screen protectors though, because I like to at least protect the screen and have some sort of protection on there. Because even though phones have like Gorilla Glass 3 and stuff on there, they still scratch pretty easily sometimes. So I still at least like to have the comfort of having a screen protector, and two, screen protectors don't really bother me because they don't add that much bulk.
Now, if you are a complete oaf and a klutz and you want to take things up a notch, you want to look at Otter cases. I've used them in the past, love them. Not only are they very strong and protective, but have those cool holsters if you want to enter into a whole new level of geekdom. I like those a lot. Those are my two top smartphone cases.
But that's not to say that I hate all cases. There have been times when I've really enjoyed using cases, but it's because there were some quirky features to it or some sort of movement that I could do with it that I kind of thought made me look kind of cool. Let me give you an illustration here. In the most recent past, the only case that I used that gave me that kind of feeling was, well, actually this one right here, and it's the dot view case for, you can already see, the HTC One M8. Now it's cool that you can do that. You can double tap on the actual case itself, and through the dots you'll get some sort of display, mostly the time and kind of a little display on the bottom. But what I actually did was not that. I actually don't like it when cases go out of their way to show information via the case, like the Samsung Smart cases or LG, or even this one. Actually, what I did with this was I would just take the phone out and then crack it open with my thumb like that, take a look at what notifications were at the top, and if I didn't see anything really important, just close it up again, and went about my day. And that's really all I would really do with cases. To be honest, that's the most I've ever done with cases, and that's the most I probably will ever do, because I prefer to have the phone, especially one like the HTC One M8, for goodness sake, just look as good as it was supposed to.
If I ever add anything else to my phone, I'll at least add a vinyl skin onto it, so like a skin from Dbrand or something like that, which is something I've done with like my Nexus 5. I put a skin on it. One, because it changes the look of it a little bit, makes it stand out a little bit more, and two, it actually adds a little bit more protection without actually making the phone bulky. It doesn't add anything to the phone at all. So, but yeah, I am not a fan of cases. Used to really like them, but now I'm just kind of tired of dealing with them. And if you like cases, that's perfectly fine. I have no problems with people that use cases, because I know some people need to have cases because they want to be able to protect their phones. Not everybody has the luxury of, jumping from one phone to the next, like several months at a time or whatever it is.
I guess the bottom line is there's too many variables to give a general answer. I mean, there's going to be thousands of people watching this video, and no, not everybody watching this video is going to need a phone case. But there are some people who are watching this video who are absolutely going to need a phone case. So I guess my last piece of advice is simply to look at your use case, looking at your job and your habits, and look at who you are and what you need, and you'll know whether or not you need a phone case.